last time you and I spoke, we were just at the very beginning of these allegations, and a lot of, like I said before, the concrete evidence we now have wasn't out at that time. So I want to know, what is your reaction, or what was your reaction, better I say, when you saw the Cassie tape of him in the hotel running in a white towel and assaulting Cassie in broad daylight?
I had to turn it off. So, I feel like, social media has done this, but definitely the pandemic and all the stuff that was just continuing to happen to our people in public at that time increased the desensitization to is that right? Desensitization, whatever, to seeing violence on social media. And that's where everybody started doing the, like, let me put up a warning. And I try to take heed to those. Like, I recognize that I am impacted when I see violence on the internet. It's not an easy thing. I don't want to become desensitized by just being like, oh, the next person got killed or this person got harmed. Let me watch this and then move on. And so I try to actually not watch that stuff. When I opened it, I didn't know what I was looking at until I saw him kick her. Like, I didn't know what was happening. It felt like, and I, as quickly as I could, closed it because I was sick to my stomach. And, I grew up seeing domestic violence, and it's just not a game. It's not a joke. Like, I couldn't even watch the whole thing. I read about it. I saw enough to see just this poor woman, small woman, just on the floor, and to see what he did was horrendous. And then later, like, another clip that was unrelated where he was throwing things at her in the like, sitting down and maybe throwing a vase at her or something. I saw that in a separate clip. I couldn't. And I think it's, horrendous is just an understatement. It's an understatement. I really find it hard to even have the words. That's how disgusting and horrible, that sort of thing is. And then it's two things that come for me after that. One, the fact that, and specifically Black women, but really women, if you don't have exactly that, nobody believes you. Yeah. The idea of believing women in particular.
Yes.
Is just this foreign thing, and believing Black women. And it just brought that to light. The number of people who needed to see that to believe that this woman was telling the truth. Like, how fast he paid her should have
said something.
But yeah, the fact that there are so many people who need something like that for it to be solidified in their mind that something like that happened is horrifying. And then anybody, but women in particular, because I am a woman, who after go into this commentary about either deserving it or having had a choice to walk away. I mean, that always floors me. I can never, ever get with or understand someone, one, not being in somebody else's position and thinking they know enough to comment on it, period, to talk about what someone could have, should have did. I mean, even Malika, I remember, I don't remember if y'all were talking or she just went live, and I was flabbergasted by some of the stuff that, even she was saying, and that's my girl. Like, for women in particular, with everything that we've been through in the history of this planet, to treat each other in that way is really, really sad to me. It's really sad to me.
You know what was even more sad for me, Dominique, was the fact that before that tape came out, Diddy was online putting out videos saying it's not true. We're going to clear this up. Dr. Brother Love, missionary, evangelist, deaconess, holy oil, get my album, bullshit.
All of it.
Gaslighting us, discrediting this
But
woman's experience.
I was like, gaslighting who? I mean, it felt like classic narcissism.
Yes.
It was so, it
But
was
it's
such
like,
a...
the narcissism has to be at a mutated villainous state for you to know that type of
100%.
content exists, because you try to hide it and you still get on the internet in the camera looking at us, telling us this is not a lie, just for it to be proven that it is the truth. You have to be a whole type of new level of crazy, evil, and like you said, narcissistic.
And here's the depths of that is this. We're not just talking about your average Joe. We're talking about someone who has a team of people who get paid millions of dollars to be their mouthpiece in situations like this. And that's when you know the level of demented, diabolical, that's the word of the fucking times. That's when you know how off someone is, that I'm clear. Nobody has to tell me this. He wasn't listening to nobody around him. And that's when you know how deep someone's sense of entitlement is, their level of narcissism, the place you've gotten yourself to get away with the things that he's gotten away with for so many decades. I mean, since I was a baby, since I was a little kid, how could you not eventually get to a place where you think there is nothing I can't talk or walk my way out of? That's what I got from it. This idea that no matter how, before the video came, and even after the video came, no matter what y'all put in front of me, the way I've lived my life, the learned behavior based on how I've been protected and how I've been able to behave is, I got this. And so before the video came out, I'm sure his lawyers was like, bruh, we got this. Sit down. And there's no way that someone like that would, because they believe, no, there's no one like me. There's no one who can handle the situations the way that I can, because I've been doing it for 30 years. And so then when the video comes out, baby, getting on the internet and showing your face and putting that, I need help, I made a mistake. Even that, I'm sure was ill-advised. I'm sure they were like, bruh, just stop. We got it. This is what you're paying us for. And that is what people who are frankly sick in the head do. Whether they're driven that, whether they were born that way or they're driven to that, by this learned behavior. That was really ridiculous to see. It was wild.
Everybody just joining us. We have MTV's Dominique from Making the Band, okay, and we are here discussing all the things Sean Diddy Combs, what he has going on. I want to know, Dominique, I want to know your take on this. There's a lot of people who are criticizing Cassie, right? People who may know more than we know, who say, Cassie isn't as innocent as she's trying to say she is, that she was compliant in a lot of these things. I've heard some people even go as far to say that Cassie allegedly had some part in his alleged abuse to Kim Porter and whatnot. All this counter conversation to her claims about what Diddy did to her. What is your response to people who are highlighting those types of examples in the midst of what Cassie is doing as it relates to Diddy?
Fuck them.
Bitch.
Straight face. That's what I was talking about when I said I really can't believe. I just can't believe that people could do that. I'm sorry. And I can't speak to what this woman did and didn't do. Yeah. But the idea that there is anything that a person could do that justifies abuse, you could miss me with that. You could literally miss me with that. I'm not thinking about how young this girl was when all this started. That impressionable shit is real. Yes. Being a middle school principal, dealing with kids that are going through puberty that are not far off from where Cassie was. I have 15-year-olds in my school. That's what she was 19 when Diddy came in her life. Like, that idea that someone can get into your head, can control your mind, can influence all of your behavior. At some point, your behavior becomes subconscious. You don't even recognize how deep in you are, how much fear is in the depths of your soul. And does that mean you can't have good moments with that person? Like, we're not acting like people in the hood every day in abusive relationships where one day I'm getting my ass beat and the next day we having amazing sex, or we out on the trip we at Red Lobster. Like, the idea that those are not the dynamics of so many relationships across the planet is crazy to me. Why your sister ain't leave the abusive relationship, sis? Why your mama ain't leave? Why your cousin ain't leave? Why you ain't leave?
Say it.
And so the idea that you get to just judge someone else's situation that you have know nothing about is crazy to me. And so that's not even me going out and defending somebody, because I don't know anything about it. But the idea that I could judge, well, you ain't innocent, that means somebody gets to throw me on the floor and kick me in my stomach? I'm not innocent. None of us are. There are no perfect human beings on the planet. But do that mean that means somebody get to beat the shit out of me? That's the piece where I'm like, no. The answer is absolutely no. It's and that hurts. It hurts. And it hurts to keep seeing that. You know, of course I thought about Megan Thee Stallion when all of this happened. Like, you think of all the people. You know who I thought about?
Who you thought about?
I thought about the woman, I don't remember her name, the woman who came forward years and years ago talking about how Dr. Dre bashed her head in at a party. That was big. Yeah, I mean, and Dr. Dre out here living his best life. Like to be clear. And so it's like this thing where people can have the evidence and straight not give a fuck. We're not valuable enough to the world, especially juxtaposed to famous people and giants and men, for people to be like, yo, this is wild. This is crazy.
People have to wake up from that fantasy fa la la foolishness. You know what I'm saying? And they really have to
D Barnes, thank you, Jamal.
They have to D Barnes. They have to separate the art and the product from the person. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because this person's music and art and persona and their career makes you feel the way it inspires you, you know, that does not mean what they are doing is justified, especially in situations like this. When I saw that video of Cassie on the floor, all I could think of, that could have been my mother. That could be my sister. That could be my friend. That could be my cousin.
Come on.
That could be a woman that I love. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. And it was not in the privacy of a hotel room, which tells you something. The gall, the audacity,
and the nerve
to be in front of the elevators where somebody could have popped out.
Dick out. Let's just say it. Dick out in a fucking towel. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry, babies. I'm so sorry.
Look, my kid's sleep. My twins is knocked out, so I ain't worried about it. Yo, yes, that. It's wild.